This is Franklin Frith, General Manager and Principal of Human Resources Mexico. And today we are with Marisol Perez, our Manager of Payroll and Human Resources. And today Marisol is going to explain to us how the PTU is paid, the profit sharing in Mexico. I'll let you just take right over.
Thank you, Franklin. Okay, first of all, we need to know that this is a benefit or right that employees are entitled in Mexico. And this consists of the participation of the employees on the profit of the company. There is a national commission that determines what the percentage will be. And in this case, it's 10% of the taxable base of the company. And this is some kind of reward for the employees for their contribution to the profit of the company. Okay, that's the profit. It's a right.
Right.
Okay.
It's not optional. Okay. If you are a registered company here in Mexico, registered with SAT, which is the tax authority, and you have employees, you automatically have to pay 10% profit sharing of your profits that you declare on your annual tax return with the tax authority. So if you have, $1 million profit, you're going to pay 10% of that to the employees.
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct. And you just let us know what companies are obligated to pay that. And that's all the companies that have employees and taxpayers.
That's right.
So
That's right.
Thanks for that.
And there's some exceptions which you're going to cover.
Yes,
Okay.
the exceptions are the new creation companies, the new creation extractive industry, private assistance companies, and non-profit organizations, and the Social Security Institute or any government institutions. They do not pay
they're not profit. I mean, they're not. Yeah, that makes sense. So if you're a non-profit agency or a non-profit corporation, you don't have to pay profit share.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's correct. And next question is, who is entitled to participate in this profit? And the answer is all the employees that work with you in a formal work relationship. And for the eventual employees, the requirement is that they work at least 60 days during the year, and they will be paid prorated.
Okay, so if you're a seasonal worker or an eventual worker, seasonal, providing that you worked minimum 60 days throughout that calendar year, you are also entitled to be inside the profit sharing plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and we need to know who is not entitled to receive this. And this is the director of the company, general manager, the general manager.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And the domestic employees, they are not entitled to receive these benefits.
Okay.
Okay, and this is very important what I'm going to explain right now, but we will see a video at the end of this video on the screen, so you can see with numbers the calculation. But what you need to know about the calculation is that the profit sharing is divided by 2. And the 50% is paid based on the number of the days the employee worked during the year. And the other part is paid based on the salary or the income the employee earns during the year.
Excellent. So there's 2 factors that make up the calculation.
Yes. And the employer is obligated to pay these 60 days after the deadline to submit the annual tax
Okay.
of the company.
Okay.
This is in May.
Okay. So you have, is it what, March 31st for filing the corporate taxes?
Yeah.
And then you have 60 days from there to pay the profit share.
That's in May.
Okay.
Every year. So let's see the calculation.
Okay,
on the
let's look at the calculation.
Yeah.
So here we are with the profit sharing calculation example. As we mentioned in the video, we will try to make this very simple. Let's suppose you have a profit of 10,000. You need to divide it by 2, 50% and 50%, so you will have 5,000 and 5,000. You also need the grand total, or the sum of the total income for all your employees, plus the total of the days work for all your employees. Let's suppose you have 10 employees. So with this information, we will see how this is calculated. Let's start with the profit sharing based on the salary the employee earns. As you can see right here, you need to multiply the total income of the employee by the 50% of the profit sharing. In this case is 5,000 pesos, and then you need to divide it by the total of the income for all your employees, and then you will get this number that is the profit based on the salary. And to make the calculation based on the day's work, you will do exactly the same. You will take the number of the days the employee work, you will multiply by the 5,000, that is the second part, the 50% of the profit sharing, and then you will divide it by the total of the days for all the employees that work in the year. There you go. You will need to sum up the profit sharing based on salary and the portion based on the day's work, and then you will have the total of profit sharing per employee. I would like to change the days of this employee so you can see the effect that will have. Let's suppose this employee worked less days and he earned, as you can see, this affect all the calculation, not only for the employee that we change, but for all the employees. But at the end, you have the total of the profit sharing, that is 10,000 pesos. So, as you can see, the profit sharing will change according to the income of the employee and according to the days he worked.
Now that we looked at the screenshot, Marisol, at your calculations, a great explanation, brief explanation of how to pay and calculate PTU or profit sharing in Mexico. What about if if an employee left, worked for me almost all year, and left, and I can't find the person? How do I pay them their PTU, their profit sharing?
Okay, that's a very important question, Franklin. If you cannot contact the employee to pay this, you can
Run an ad?
Yes,
you were
run an
saying?
ad on the
In
newspaper, in
That's
the
right.
local newspaper, to try to contact them. And if they do not come to claim the profit sharing, you will need to add that profit onto the next year and share with all the employees.
So the amount that you couldn't pay out to employees that were lost gets rolled into the next year's profit sharing.
Yes,
Okay,
that's
so
correct.
you don't, the company doesn't take that back. It's going to be dispersed.
Yes, that's correct.
But we found, just so you know, that the majority of employees find you. Okay, they will be coming, knocking on your door, looking for the profit sharing.
Yeah.
Most likely. Well, if you're profitable.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Marisol.
Thank you to you, Franklin.
Okay. Thank you.